Good morning, brothers and sisters. This is Chuck. Chuck's Off-Grid World. What we're going to talk about today is my solar setup and how my lithium batteries kind of failed me. I'm not going to say they totally failed me, but they didn't do the job I was expecting. And that's what we're going to talk about today. First of all, I'm going to show you a diagram, if I can. I don't know how well it's going to show up. First of all, we got solar panels up on the roof, and they go down from there. They go into my charge controller, and then from the charge controller, they go into my batteries, my lithium batteries, and then at times, this is the alternator. It can power the system. And then this is the lead acid batteries. It runs the cabin lights. It's things inside the RV. And I'm going to show you each one of those individually. First of all, I'm going to start out with the solar panels. I'm going to get up kind of on the roof and give you a quick peek of that. Okay, I've got, I'm kind of up on the roof here. I can show you a solar panel. I got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 solar panels up here. 1, 2, 3. Yes, 5 solar panels, which makes up a total of 800 watts. And then a little noisy today. This is my phone amplifier. So that's the solar. Now that's the solar panels on the roof. Okay, and you get a positive and negative. Goes down into the charge controller. That'd be like a battery charger. And so I'm going to show you the charge controller. Okay, the charge controller is in the battery compartment here, and it's right there. The positive negative lines from the solar panels come into this fuse into there, and the negative side goes into there, and it comes back out and goes to the two lithium batteries. And that's the charge controller. It's a 40 amp charge controller. Next, I want to show you the alternator, the generator that will power the whole thing. Right here, I've got it marked as an alternator, but it's actually a generator. Okay, now this is the onboard generator. If I start this generator, it runs off of gasoline. It's 550 watts, I believe, and if I start it up, I can run everything in the RV, period. All the air conditioners, everything would run off of it, all pretty much at the same time. But I avoid using this because I do use it when I do need it. I do use it, but it uses a lot of fuel. It runs through about 3/4 of a gallon an hour. I never charge my batteries off of this generator. It takes hours and hours and hours to do it, and it's not efficient in my opinion. Next, I'm going to show you the two cabin batteries. These are two 6-volt batteries. They're hooked in series to create 12 volts. They're 235 ampere hours. They're located underneath the steps. Okay, they're kind of hard to see under there, but they're under there. And then this is a inline fuse. I have it's about a 300 amp fuse. I'll explain that later. And this is an additional charge controller that I very rarely use to charge these two batteries. We won't really get into that part of it. One more component I want to show you is this switch right here. So what that switch does is hooked to the lead acid batteries to the lithium batteries. So if I open the switch, close the switch, they would make one big battery. And I'll explain it. There's the switch right there. It's in the off position right now. If I flip it around like that, well, then it's on the on position. That means these two batteries and the two batteries underneath the steps are actually acting as one battery. Instead of having two 400 ampere hours plus 235, that's 635 ampere hours. I'm going to shut it off for right now. Okay. Right now, you're probably wondering why I'm going through all this. The reason I'm going through all this is this right here, this refrigerator. I had to replace my old refrigerator because it went bad. With this one, it's a residential refrigerator I bought from Walmart online. It's on right now. You can see the lights on. But the other one was gas and electricity, and this one is not. It's just electricity. So when I'm traveling, which I did in January and February and part of March, we was in Arizona most of the time, this refrigerator was on all the time. Well, I was suspicious that I didn't have enough battery power to run it. According to the paper, anything you read on paper, I had more than enough. I had way more than enough. But you know, it's kind of funny because this is the paper world, this is Chuck's off the grid world. Two different worlds. We just take this paper and just kind of throw it away. So by testing this refrigerator, my battery system on lithium batteries only, 400 ampere hours, would not run it through the night. It would get it to about 4 o'clock in the morning. It'd get down to about 11 volts. The compressor would try to turn on and it'd drop it down below 10 volts, and it would shut the batteries down. When I mean they shut them down, it would shut, the BMS would shut down. The batteries would be totally dead. And so when they're totally dead, you can't do anything with them. I've never experienced that with lead acid. But so got almost within 3 hours of daylight coming back up. January, the sun's not very high in the sky, and it doesn't last very long. But being in the desert in Arizona, we did get a lot of sunshine. There wasn't a lot of overcast and rainy days, but there were a few. So what I had to do is I had to bring my lead acid batteries back to life again. And I thought, well, how am I going to do this? I realized you're supposed to take some sort of battery charger and put them on there, and it'll charge it and make it go back to operating again. Well, I didn't have that battery charger. So what I did is I took and I turned this switch right here, right there, and hooked these lead acid batteries to this battery, and immediately these batteries came back to life. They came back to life at about I think, I'm guessing 12.5 volts, 12.5 volts, because these batteries were pretty much charged up. Because when I'm driving down the highway, these batteries are charged by the alternator in the vehicle. These batteries are not, unless I have the switch turned to hook them together, which I don't like doing that. But so what I did was I tried this several times to see if they'd make it through the night, and it had the same results. It wouldn't quite make it through the night. So I'd get up in the morning and I'd have to hit the switch, and I'd have to get the BMS to go back to where they operated again. So I just decided, okay, what I want to do is I'm going to experiment with this. I'm going to leave these lead acid batteries hooked to these lithium batteries by hitting this switch and leaving them on all the time, hooked together. And voila, it made it through the night. No problem. Got up the next morning, I had, I think, about 12.2 volts. I didn't have enough to run my coffee pot, but that's where the generator came into play. I started my generator up so that I could make my coffee, and it only ran for about 15 minutes, and I shut the generator off. But like I said, I don't run the generator to charge my batteries. I think that's insane. Run your batteries, your generator for 7 to 8 hours just to charge your batteries. But and so by hooking the lead acid with the lithium batteries, I'm assuming what it created was a much deeper charging system. Instead of being 400 ampere hours, it got up to 635 ampere hours. And I've noticed the lithium batteries just don't have the grunt that the lead acid batteries have. They have more of a grunt. If it want to start that compressor in that refrigerator, the lead acid batteries wouldn't have a problem with it at all. Well, the lithium batteries did. So I'm wondering, well, is it worth it to put lithium batteries in my system when the system was working great with lead acid? And I'd have to say yes. And you go, well, Chuck, why? If you're having trouble with it? Well, for one, the lithium batteries are cleaner. You don't have all that corrosion you get with lead acid, and it's just a lot cleaner. They're lighter in weight. They're getting to the point where they're cheaper than lead acid. What I could do is just add another 200 ampere hour battery to my system, or I can do like I told my wife. She was concerned about it. Well, just wait a couple months and the sun will be higher in the sky and we'll get a better charge. Well, this is true because I'm at my house right now, and I ran the refrigerator for 3 days only on lithium. I had my TV set going. I made some coffee. I did several other things, and get up the next day and it was still 13.3 volts. So I think we're going to be okay. Well, I got to give it one other consideration for the lithium batteries. Not only am I running the refrigerator, but I'm also running lots of other things as well. It's just like I'm in my own house. I mean, I'm running battery chargers for my phone. I'm running my computers, 2 laptops. Sometimes they're being charged. I have a solar. I have cameras that are running all the time. I have my internet that's running all the time. So all those things are not a lot of power, but when you start adding them up, there's a lot additional draw on the system. So, but I think I'm going to be okay. So I'm going to stick with the lithium batteries for right now until perhaps the tariffs might cause the price to go up some more, but I'm really doubtful of that. We'll see. Alright, thank you for watching. Okay, one more thing. This refrigerator holds so much more than the one that came in this RV. It's got space for gallon containers. My other one only had one spot for a gallon of milk, and that's it. Well, this one can hold all kinds of gallons of milk, and so this one's a much more usable. It's probably 1/3 larger, and we was able to put everything we wanted in there and not have any storage problems. And it worked great as long as it had power. As long as my lithium batteries was creating enough electricity to run it, it was working perfectly. Thank you for watching.